Please, drop your restraints. Protect the life I loved. You have the strength. My scanners sensed it. Just let it go.
Yet another fighter you could have saved.
16. You love life. You gave everything up to save it. And you were just an android. I let you die. I can't do that. I won't watch anymore. I feel it slipping. I won't watch this anymore!
It is a secret we have known before Gohan could even form words in his mouth. Through fights with Raditz, Garlic Jr., the Ginyu Force, and even Frieza, we've caught glimpses of the child's explosive power. But like an explosion, it always vanished with the moment. It couldn't be controlled. Until now. At last, the beastly power has been harnessed. Gohan has awoken. Now Cell will battle a warrior 11 years in the making on the next Dragon Ball Z.
Hi everyone and welcome to a brand spanking super episode of Trip Around the Multiverse with your host, the guy who injects himself with nanites to make my skin stronger, Carl Charles.
And the android that has no brain, Siwa Chung.
And in this episode, we are going to be reviewing and talking about Dragon Ball Superheroes, the latest Dragon Ball movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Firstly though, overall, what did you think before we go?
Overall, I loved it.
Yeah.
It made me happy inside.
Okay. I enjoyed parts. Parts of it I really liked. And parts of it was like, okay. Right?
Yeah.
But I accept it for what it is, right? Which is a action-orientated anime, yeah?
Yeah.
I thought Brody was better, though. Dragon Ball Super Brody.
You know what? I can't say that because I've only seen Brody once, and I saw it subtitled, and it kind of...
Okay.
Maybe not want to watch it. I've got it. I need to watch it again, but I just... Can't remember.
No. Okay. My main reason for saying Dragon Ball Brody was better is because almost parts of this, well, the final boss of this, basically was kind of similar to that, ish. Yeah, you know what I mean? I thought they were gonna I was like, I would have preferred it to go a slightly different way rather than so we kind of have similar from the pre-ending, similar finale boss character ish in mentality than like the previous movie, you know?
Wait, what you think that it was kind of the same ending?
No, not the same ending. What I'm saying is they're both brutes at the end of it.
Yeah.
By that point, yeah. And I was like, okay. I thought it was going to be. It looked like it was going to head to a bit more like and then it was just like, okay, well, Hulk smash, right?
I kind of enjoyed that.
Well,
mindless violence.
Yeah, well, I prefer it in one of these movies or the other, but not both of them.
Yeah, I get what you mean. But a lot of those Dragon Ball films sort of end like that.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. It's true. Though they had potential not quite doing it in this.
Yeah.
I did like it. It highlighted our boys, Piccolo and Gohan.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then our boy Gohan just keeps on doing the same stuff that he's been doing for the last 5 character arcs.
What was that? Just being
Just-
Mr. Nerdy.
Well, no, just like, oh, I ain't gonna train. Oh, there's danger. I'm gonna train. All right, and then about 6 months later, I ain't gonna bother training. And then, oh, there's danger. I'm gonna train again.
Yeah. That's his thing at this point.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with it to a certain extent. But then,
I'll if it's a running joke, fine, right?
yeah.
But it's not like the point is running joke. It's the point. It's more like, oh, it's the hope spot for you. Here's going to get some glory. You know what? Let's snatch it away from you.
But I think he's been trolling this whole time, though.
It's true. It could be Toriyama. You never know.
I mean, even when... bit of a spoiler. It's not really a spoiler. But, like, near the end, when something happens, and then someone goes to him, when have you been doing that? He's like, I've been secretly practicing it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. He's
Yeah.
trolling. He has been training this whole time. He just wants the people to think he's not.
Yeah, I kind of accept that if they drew him buff again, but they kind of. Well, to be fair, he looks like he's drawn in between buff Gohan and nerdy Gohan. This is like slimmer, trained, toned Gohan.
Because he's learned the form of muscle manipulation, so.
Yeah, maybe that's just it. Maybe that's
slims down. He's like deceptively like, he's just the guy who goes gym like 3 times a week. But
oh no, yeah, but when he was wearing his green jumpsuit, you knew blatantly that guy. He's like a deflated.
Yeah. But then when he went Super Saiyan, he got bulk again.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? I think just during Super, they just animated him bulked up after a while.
Yeah.
He just swapped out his old sweaters and whatnot, and then he started wearing sleeveless, and all of a sudden, there they are, them guns.
Yeah.
You know?
The gun show's out. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. Look, I enjoyed very much the first half of this movie.
Yeah.
And I thought, at the same time, I was like, okay, Piccolo. I was like, oh yeah. And I was like, okay, so if he was a solo lead in this movie, because it does majority of the pushing forward, right? I wouldn't have minded, but I was like, okay. Also, Gohan's meant to be in here as well.
Yeah.
So it's like, come on, man, shouldn't you have him a bit more relevant to it? But that's the thing. He was like, oh no, I don't want to say necessarily shoehorned in there, but it's just more like, If I wouldn't have minded if there was more Piccolo. Doing his thing, because he was basically kind of the main character in this movie.
I wouldn't say he's main. I'd say like he was the Goku to and Gohan was Vegeta basically in this.
Yeah.
They are both main characters, but one has sort of a bit more
priority over the other. Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say priority, like
screen time.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. All right, let's go into it, and then we can discuss some other bits after during it. Yeah, because no, but you're saying thumbs up, and I'm like, yeah, it is actually the animations. What did you think of the 2D 3D thing going on?
At first, it took me a bit to get used to it, and then
Yeah.
at the end, I really liked it because I was like different art style, which I'm kind of gathering they're doing. Each film going on was a different art style.
Yeah, I don't mind it so much if that's what the gimmick is. You know, it's slightly different because Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super Broly had a more kind of softer illustration technique. Yeah. In general, yeah. I don't mind the 3D-ness of the 2.5D. How do you put it, really?
They call it cell shaded.
Yeah. Well, yeah, puns, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But like, if you're a fan, I mean, I'd recommend people watch this.
Yeah.
Piccolo basically gets more. It gets his due this and here, and Gohan kind of gets his, but you'd expected him to have a bit more screen time or a bit more of a character arc, or a bit more something to do with the film.
He sort of.
Towards the last half of the film.
Yeah, but realistically, Piccolo didn't have much really. He was just kind of like, I have this sort of problem I had to kind of deal with.
Yeah. But it was kind of, I think, kind of jokes is the story is non-serious, but he's a serious character, and that just makes it a bit more. Yeah, like, how? Yeah, I wonder what is he going to do exactly. Like how these situations are not his standard situations, right?
No.
But that's the thing. Is like, okay, have the super serious man deal with a comedy. You know?
Yeah, and it's hilarious.
Yeah. All right. So, starts off with. Oh, we're gonna go spoilers, of course. Yeah.
Yes, spoilers. Yeah.
Starts off with like a brief summary of what happened in Dragon Ball Z. No, Dragon Ball, right? Not
Everything, really. Yeah.
Yeah, but it had to highlight because the Red Ribbon Army wasn't in Z.
No, just Dr. Gero. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and the androids, but kind of not. They're more relevant in Dragon Ball than Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
And then they explain how Dr. Gero somehow made the androids who are machines but also humans.
Yeah, they're really cyborgs, but yeah, sure. Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah. And he created androids, he created Cell, and he got by
his own children.
Android. Yeah. Android 17. They just show him just destroying the guy.
Yeah.
Like, wow. Okay. Yeah. And then they intro us to the villains of the story. Magenta, right?
Magenta, who is the son of the guy who created the Red Ribbon Army.
Yeah. Not Dr. Gero, not the android. No. That guy. Yeah.
And he basically took the Red Ribbon Army to make it more public and less shady looking. He changed it to Red Pharmaceutical Company, but still had the same logo.
Yeah. The bow tie looking logo. Yeah.
Oh, that's silly. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, good on him. But I'd have to say his guard with the Elvis hair. I find him quite a standout character.
Yeah.
Carmine.
That's it. Yep. And he PowerPoint presentations.
Yeah. Talking about the grandson of Dr. Gero.
Yep.
Dr. Hedo.
Yep.
All right, fine. I mean, fair enough.
Yeah.
And then they showed Android 21 as well.
Yeah, who's canon now? Yeah.
Yeah. But, okay, that's kind of neat. I mean, because she wasn't really canon.
No.
As in, if you don't take into certain Dragon Ball heroes or stuff like that into account and stuff like that. But it's like, it's a good nod to something out canon. Here or there, just be like, okay, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Yeah. Now I'm waiting for Cooler at some point, but hey, right?
Yeah. Which I reckon he's probably coming, but yeah.
So they do like So he's like, okay, this is Dr. Hedo.
Yep.
Grandson of Dr. Gero, who he's also 24. Makes these cyborg thingamajigs and whatnot.
Yeah.
And what did he go to jail for?
Oh, for stealing cadavers.
Yeah.
And turning them into cyborgs?
Well, yeah, and then
made cyborgs, yeah.
Yeah, and then they turn around, so they're working in the 7-Eleven and they turn to a camera, right?
Yeah.
With their heads, with their Frankenstein, cut heads and stuff like that.
Which is hilarious.
Yeah. Oh. So basically, they go in their car to pick this guy up and try to basically say, look, you want to make cyborgs. We got the money to make the cyborgs. How about we get together? You know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
And and then basically, Dr. Hedo is like, well, I'm no fool, right?
Yeah.
I've actually experienced one myself because my skin is extra tough somehow.
Yeah, it can take impact, which can come back later.
Yeah. But it's just like, how do you do that to you? How do you? Yeah. To be fair, if you're Dr. Gero and you're making cybernetic androids, which are human but still machines.
Yeah.
I mean, putting some whatever underneath your skin to harden it, it probably is not so.
And there's one little bit I kind of questioned during this whole bit. All right, so he's Dr. Gero's grandson, yeah? Yeah. And his dad is Android 16.
Well, no, wait.
Yeah.
Okay, go on. You continue.
And he said when Dr. Gero died, he was still a kid. So when did he turn his children? When did Dr. Gero turn his children into cyborgs?
Oh, okay, yeah, good point. I was going to say I don't think it was his legit son, but then I'm thinking, oh no, you're probably right somewhere.
Yeah, because he says all the androids are his kids.
Yeah, I think during they don't actually show who is Dr. Hedo's mum and dad are.
They show his dad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it shows Gero, and it shows like the family tree bit, and it goes off to Android 16, and then his.
Oh right. Because for some reason I was like, oh, I didn't think that. I thought he called Android 16 his son. Yeah. But you know how like when you've created someone.
Yeah.
And they're your son, but not your actual son.
Yeah, that's his son.
All right. Yeah, I was like, oh, okay. I thought you created him as, I created you or my son, like Frankenstein and his monster, rather than direct descendant son. Okay, all right, fair enough.
Yes. Because I sat there, I was like, wait. Because I remember, because he says that the androids were his kids in like Dragon Ball Z or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh. And that's when you find out that 17 and 18 are brother and sister. Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Wait, no, hold on. Are you sure?
Yep.
No, that 16 is okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought for some reason I thought it wasn't. Okay. I thought it was another. Maybe he had another child. But it's alright. Who knows exactly what Dr. Gero is doing to his own children? Yeah. But yes, when you still think about it, though, it's just like, okay. At what point did it become a cyborg to actually have children that have? Yeah. Unless his part still worked.
That's only what I'm thinking, because isn't Android 16? 18. No, sorry, 18 still an android.
Yeah, and 17 has kids as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. It's like, okay, so I think Magenta's saying to the guy, okay, you're a doctor, right? And you're creating cyborgs, right? What is your qualifications in? I mean, because if you're trying to create these biological whatever, right?
Mm.
And Dr. Hedo says, actually, I'm qualified in both. I'm like, well, okay, I go. If you're gonna engineer cyborgs and put human body parts in it, I guess you would have to be kind of qualified for both.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
When you apply it in a fictional sense, right?
Yeah.
But then if you think of it in a real one sense, you're like, yeah, but that doesn't overlay on top of that,
Kind of makes more sense than Hank Pym making Ultron, because that never made sense to me. But yeah.
Yeah. So Dr. Hedo is in a kind of, I mean, it's a small round character, right?
Yeah.
And he's like got a superhero cape suit thingy jig.
Yeah, because he's a superhero.
Yeah, so he comes out of the jail. The inmates are booing him like he's heel rock, right?
Yeah.
Coming back from Hollywood and cussing the people, right? And what he does exactly what heel rock should do. He when he comes out of the jail, he takes a bomb after all the jeering and booing. He takes a bomb out of his briefcase and throws it back in the jail.
Yeah. And then no.
Yeah, and it blows up. And like, all right, and then that's when Carmine and Magenta pull up to him and say, "Yo, machines, money, help you." Yeah. And he's like, fair enough. By the way, I already know who you guys are because I have my worker be scouted your thingy-jig, your PowerPoint presentation on me. That's why I know you. That's why I know I can not necessarily trust you people, but I know what you're here for, and I know what I'm here for. So we've got a mutual understanding.
Yeah, you're like, this worker bee will come back later on. But
yeah, exactly. And then what's great about this is how Magenta is telling Dr. Hedo, well, see, what the Red Ribbon Army and your grandfather, by the way, because we were both on the same mission, is trying to protect the world from these evil aliens, right? Who are trying to take over. And then he spins the entire Dragon Ball story, flip on its head, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, this is quite ingenious, because when you're looking from this perspective, it is exactly that.
Yeah. Also, I was laughing because it kind of they're kind of poking fun at people that believe in conspiracy theories as well.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, this is hilarious. They're doing that. Oh,
Yeah.
bless them.
Yeah. So what they're basically saying is the Goku, like the Capsule Corps, which is Bulma's organization, are creating secretly funding aliens or some strange whatnot, right? Pretending they're humans. When you have the golden hair warriors and stuff like that who defeated Cell and stuff, your grandfather, Dr. Gero, created these cyborgs to defeat these people. See, these people are fine and tearing our world apart, and then they got footage of when Trunks was fighting Frieza as a cyborg. Footage of Broly destroying half the world, all sorts of Dragon Ball Z footage, right?
Yeah.
Where you're like, when you put it together, you're like, okay, these people have forms a lot of destruction.
Yeah, like, maybe they could be the bad guys.
Yeah. They are causing destruction and sating their own bloodlust because they keep on fighting, right? Even when they don't need to. I was like, oh, fair enough. That's kind of Goku because he could have just ended fights sometimes, but he just wants to fight and continue to fight. So yeah, exactly. And then you got Vegeta who just basically wants to brute force murder people.
Yeah.
And Piccolo's alien looking guy with the antennas, which are kind of sinister,
Yeah.
And it's like all of them are aliens, and the worst one of all, that's Bulma briefs.
Yeah.
Because she's funding them, she's protecting them inside Capsule Corps. We need to defend the country, the world against these people.
To stop them before they take us all.
Exactly. I was like, oh, you know what? A great start because it gives the mission something to start. Even though Dr. Hedo just bombed the entire prison, right?
Yeah.
As a comedy and the comedy sequence just gives them a bit more oomph to the logic of why am I going to create these things to fight these people when the audience know these people are good guys,
Yeah.
To be fair, he's also been in jail for an extended amount of time, so he don't know Jack.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though if he sent his worker bee out to search whatnot, he could. I guess he's also partially not bothered.
Yeah. But even he says near the end why he sort of done what he done. Yeah.
So 6 months later, and we get Pan training with Piccolo.
Yeah. Her real granddad. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Pan kind of drawn, quite cute looking.
Yeah.
Talking to Piccolo trying to teach her how to fly. She's like, oh, I'm not getting it. Oh, blah blah blah. And then learn key boss and stuff like that. And people are like, oh, look, you need to learn to do the small stuff before you can get to the big stuff.
Yeah.
Right. And then obviously she's trying to fly, she can't, but she's 3 years old, so what can you say, right?
Exactly.
I mean, look how long it took. Goku flew at 18.
Yeah.
But then now everyone can fly.
Yeah.
Only Superman can't fly until he's. Only Clark Kent from Smallville can't fly until he's 24, right?
Yeah.
Anyways. Yeah. So she's like finishing her training, and then she's asking Piccolo, "Oh, did Gohan was Dad used to be stronger? Is it true that Dad was stronger than Grandpa? Which be Gohan stronger than Piccolo?
Yeah.
Goku. Yeah, because she'd never seen him fight, right?
Yeah.
And the Piccolo was like, well, he was at one point.
Yeah, he was at one point the strongest person in the universe, but now.
Yeah. And I have to say as well, at one point was probably way back in the Majin Buu arc, because since then, well, no, actually probably the beginning of Battle of Gods, right?
Yeah.
Because until Goku went Super Saiyan God.
Yeah.
So like, okay, set up for something later on, right? I mean, but I will say as well, like, he's not Gohan's not really comparable to. He's way below Super Saiyan Blue.
Yeah.
At this point, even at Potential Unleashed,
Yeah.
Even though that was the episode where he was fighting Goku in Blue, and I was like, wait, hold on a minute. Gohan's powerful, right? And if he was training, he could be more powerful, right? But he wasn't training. Somehow trained like for a couple of months with Piccolo, and then powered up to fight Super Saiyan Blue? Does that
Could
mean?
happen.
Well, no, but does that mean his potential unleashed was that level, and he just was above Super Saiyan 3, and he just kept on not bothering to? I don't know. But I think sometimes the power scaling is a bit strange.
It is. It is.
But yeah, then Piccolo said, "Look, we'll train after school. I'll pick you up. No, we'll train some more after. But you've got school time now."
Yeah.
And Pan just puts on her trainers and runs at flash super speed across the mountain.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, for her, because she's like we're saying, when Goku goes to school and he's flying on clouds and doing all these amazing, like floating in the sky to catch baseballs and stuff.
Yeah.
To him, it's normal, right?
Yeah, for everyone else.
Yeah. So when I'm seeing her super speed, I was like, oh, you know, that's actually funny because that's the stuff that, like, all the casual everyday stuff Gohan used to do in front of his superpowered friends, and he thought it was normal.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Yeah. So he goes off. She runs to kindergarten.
Yep.
And he goes back to his house, Piccolo. He gets a call from his smartphone, right? Which he picks up with his like pincers on his. Yeah, he never holds the phone properly. Just kind of like holds the top sides of it with his thumb and middle first finger.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just lifts it to his head.
He's like an old person. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and it basically say Videl's like, oh yeah, I'm trained. Can you pick up Pam for me because I've got training my martial arts school for a tournament. And Gohan's been a bad dad.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Gohan's got his important research presentation, quote unquote, right?
Yeah.
Which obviously means, you know, Gohan's. I don't know who's the worst dad, Gohan or Goku.
I'll say Goku because at least Gohan though he has a daughter.
Well, yeah. Well, okay, fair enough.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
And he did make his daughter, not yet anyway, fight for the fate of the world.
Yeah.
And revive the enemy that they're all having problems with.
Yeah.
In the process. Yeah. I mean, Goku might make you fight someone to the death there. When you're 11 years old, right? Or 9 or 10, depending if you want to count the hyperbolic tangent.
Yeah, but yep.
Yeah, Gohan, he just might study a bit too much and forget about you.
Yeah.
But hey,
rather that than put my life on the line.
really, he won't kill you, you know.
Exactly.
I know that. Yeah, he'll fight you at full power when you're some kid. You know what I mean? Goku don't play.
What's smart?
Oh jeez. Yeah. So, she's like, oh, Fidel's like, oh yeah, well I'll buy you some food, and Piccolo's like, no, Namekians only drink water. And she's like,
right? Yeah.
And then she's like, I'll buy you stuffed animals, and then you look at a pile of stuffed animals in Piccolo's hand, and you go, what? Why?
Yeah, like,
why stuffed animals? What is with this?
It's one of those situations where he said, "Oh, that's cute" once, and then he thought he loved it, and just keep buying it for him. He's like, I don't.
Yeah. So he decides to fly over to Gohan's house, and he says, "What's wrong with you, boy? Why don't you pick up your own daughter?"
Yeah. He's like, I forgot, sorry. And he got talking about bugs that can turn into super bugs, whatever.
Yeah, just like Super Saiyans. Oh my god! And Piccolo's like, no selling him. Like, please, you know, your family is more important than that, surely, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, you should train and you know, like how you forget to train because the next threats pop up, and then you're all like, you know, you'll get beat up, and then you need to train again. So you should keep on your peak perfection, right? And Gohan's like, no, there's no enemies right now, you know.
Yeah.
Which obviously always leads to something, right? But, yeah. And then he's like, oh, Goku and Vegeta are here if we need to fight. And yeah. And the Piccolo just decides to try and punch Gohan, who blocks it, right? I'm like, all right, fair enough, right? And then he punches Gohan in the stomach.
Yeah. I was like, oh, Gohan.
Yeah.
Down, dude.
He's like, oh, yeah, got cocky, just like when he was fighting Majin Buu, he got cocky.
Yep.
Yeah. And then he's like, right, well, somehow he's got the power to change people's clothes because he just warps Gohan's sweater combo, right, into the standard Piccolo weighted shoulder pad thing.
Yeah.
And purple one piece.
Yeah, his gi and his shoulder pad cape thing, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I want to say Piccolo has the ability to change people's clothing, but whatever, you know.
Yeah, when it calls for it, I guess.
Yeah.
He's done it before, but still weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he said, like, look, you wear that stuff as punishment, right? I'll go and pick up your kid, jabroni. Yeah. and then he goes, yeah, we'll buy you some more stuffed animals, and Piccolo's like,
I hate them.
yeah. Yeah, so he goes to the mountains to meditate. Probably to meditate about, like you're saying, about how much he hates stuffed animals, right?
Yeah.
And only to be like blasted out of nowhere. And he's like, wow. And it's like Gamma 2, like basically, dude in a yellow suit looking thing with a blue cape and a ray gun.
Yeah.
And Piccolo right away is like, you're an android. He's like, what? How did you know? What's this about? And the Red Ribbon Army. And Piccolo,
I left the emblem on. That's a bit dumb.
And then Piccolo's like, well, you got no key as well, so yeah, that's how I know you're an android.
I've dealt with androids before, sort of thing.
Yeah. And basically, Gammon's like, well, see, I know you because you're a Demon King. Ooh, right?
Yeah.
Which is probably about 2 generations ago.
Yeah.
Right?
Probably about 40 years ago at this point, but yeah, sure.
Yeah. So I as a superhero, I'm gonna kill this you as the Demon King because naturally, by your name, you're my nemesis, right? And Piccolo's like, nah, I'm just Piccolo, and he goes, nah, ain't gonna happen. I'm just gonna fire my gun at you and fight you, as you do.
Yeah, you do, Right, ask some questions, yeah, sure.
Yeah, exactly. Even though the quote unquote the guy who's evil is like trying to ask questions, but whatever, right? So in the end, they have a little tussle, and Gamma 2 then fires his ray gun at the mountain at Piccolo, who
quote unquote
seems to disintegrate because there's a massive cloud.
Yeah.
Of dust. And he flies away going, yes. Gamma 2 flies up going, yep, I've done my mission objective. Even though his mission objective was not to kill him, right?
Yeah.
He goes, all right, done that. Now I'm going to fly back to wherever I come from.
To my base and tell and brag about it. Yeah.
And Piccolo's like, okay, I'm just going to lower my key and stay low so I can keep him in sight and stuff like that. Because he can't sense me. Right. So, he's flying over there, flying to the Red Ribbon Army, Red Pharmaceuticals base. Gamma just like, oh, yeah, people, walking in there. And Piccolo's like, okay, how am I going to get in there? And he basically...
steal some guy's clothes.
Yeah.
Even though... This bit made me laugh because I thought he's going to be a bit obvious because he's like 8 foot tall compared to everyone else.
Yeah.
And then so he does that, he sneaks into the building. And then he goes to where the 2 main bad guys are, Magenta and Hedo, having a little meeting about it, where Gamma 2 comes in and tells him what happens. So Piccolo walks in and just stands there with all the other guards wearing the guards' clothes. This should be obvious. And then you realise another guy who's like 10 feet tall. Like, oh yeah, no.
Not only that, he doesn't even have his helmet down, so he's got green skin, but all right.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, the visor of his helmet anyways.
Yeah.
And then I think they are questioning, like one of the guards ask him about something. He goes, oh, no, I'm just being a bit ill. That's why I got kind of like, looking kind of green, yeah. And then he puts his visor down. But it's all played for comedy.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, and so they're talking about... So Gamma 1 is talking... Gamma 2 is talking to Gamma 1. They have a little, to do as they do as twin brothers sort of thing going on. One's sensible, one's a bit more of a goof.
Yeah.
And Magenta's like, well... so where's my ultimate creation? The ultimate one that we're working on, just like your grandfather worked on, where it's Cell Maxu, right?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, you watched the dub, right?
Yep.
I watched the sub.
Oh, dub though.
Well, yeah, no, but I tell you what's kind of funny. Every time Piccolo was talking, I was reading subtitles. I was reading subtitles in Chris Sabat's voice.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I mean, I know there's the voice of Piccolo, but it's just ingrained in my head now.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's and he's like, yeah, well, Dr. Hedo's like, well, yeah, I mean, Cell Max, if we need to, progress is kind of slow. He ain't got quite his head's not on properly, because he's got a brain that needs to grow, right?
Yeah.
But my boys here, Gamma 1 and Gamma 2.
Be more than enough, yeah.
Yeah, so don't worry about that. I mean, we can worry about, if they can't do it, then yes, or whatever, right? But no rush, because I'm sure my guys can. And Cell takes a while to grow anyways, yeah? So we don't need to initiate the fight.
Max
Yeah.
thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Which made sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So Piccolo, hearing about Cell Max, steps away from the guards that he's with, right?
Yeah.
Gives a Bulma a call, and he says, "Yeah, is Goku and Vegeta around?" And she says, "No, they're training off with Beerus." And he's like, "Can you contact Whis for me?" And she's like, "All right, give me a second. I'm gonna find a device that I contact Whis with." And Piccolo's like, "All right, I'll go to Corin's tower to get some sensory beams. In that case, right?"
Yeah.
So he goes off to Beerus. Goes off to get sensor beams, while on Beerus's planet.
Yeah, we see Goku, Vegeta, and Broly having like a three-way fight, sort of, and they're getting.
Well, it's more like Broly about to transform into legendary Super Saiyan uncontrolled Broly.
Yeah.
And Goku's like, calm down, and Vegeta's like, as he usually does when and Goku's like telling Broly to calm down. You need to learn to control your power.
Yep. Broly's like, oh, okay, I guess.
Yeah.
And then we meet Broly's friends. The other two characters, I've forgotten their names.
Lemon and Chili.
There we go.
Yeah.
And then Whis is like, oh, maybe you three should have like a fight, because it'll be quite epic.
Yeah.
But no transformations and that. And then that's when Goku's like, no, we can't have it with Broly because he's gonna probably destroy this place, and then Frieza will find out where he is because this is a safe place for him right now.
Yeah.
So Whis like, oh yeah, then you and Vegeta have a fight, and we'll see who's the best. And in a fight, then Beerus wakes up because he smells food.
Yeah.
And then hijinks ensues. He meets Chile.
Yeah.
And instantly falls in love with her.
Yeah. Green Bulma, as you do, as you do.
Yeah.
Not quite the augmentations that Bulma has because of the Dragon Balls, but also point out how they talk about who's the strongest in the universe, and they kind of give. They talk about Jiren.
Yeah, that was cool over there.
Yeah, and I was like, and then Vegeta's like, they retcon it, right? Oh yeah, no, but the retcon. He's like, oh yeah, I'm meditating like Jiren did in the Tournament of Power because he only put out what's necessary to fight, and then he didn't do any more, and that's to reserve your strength. I'm like, okay, fair enough. Is why inverse.
Yeah,
Jiren didn't do much, but you know that in reality, he was just way too powerful. Like everyone else is beneath him in all sorts of power levels. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he could just flick his finger at someone and send them flying away. But it explains obviously why he just didn't attack when he didn't need to.
Yeah, because he kept his cool and stuff like that. That's why Vegeta's trying to meditate to become more. I want to say self-aware, but you know what I mean, like more.
Do use effort when it's necessary.
Yeah,
stuff like that.
So basically, trying to hint towards him becoming, is it ultra ego?
Yeah, that doesn't exist at the moment in the anime, but yeah.
But that's what they're trying to. That's what they're sort of hinting to, isn't it? With that.
Yeah. So Goku and Vegeta have their sparring match, which obviously, as with these two, just ends up in a full on fight.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, you can't use key blast and no flight, right? And they just end up doing anything they just want. I'm like, all right.
Except for the transformation part, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
But we never see.
Oh yeah.
So who knows?
Well, it's kind of funny because I think they said no flight as well, right? And then at some point because they're just leaping about and stuff, but then do something that's like they fly in the air and then they go in two different directions.
Yeah.
You can't double jump in mid-air.
No.
Yeah.
So
and they basically tell Brody to watch and watch how these guys do it because you're gonna
learn a thing or two.
Yeah, you're gonna learn a thing or two about a thing or two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we get Boma trying to call Whis in the background, but he's put a ice cream container over his staff, so he can't see it flashing or anything. So all the people, Beerus, Lemo, Chili, and Whis are eating ice cream, and they're just throwing tops to the side. Well, Beerus is just throwing tops to the side, and one of them goes on top of the staff, Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
So back on Earth, Curran gives Piccolo the only conveniently have the amount of sensory beams that are necessary for the plot, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So he gives them the Piccolo the last 2 sensor beams, and he's like, well, and then Bulma calls saying she has no luck finding contacting Whis.
Yeah.
And Piccolo's like, all right, what should we do? Majin Buu is hibernating and.
He ain't wake up anytime soon.
Yep. And Android 17 and 18. I mean, the Red Bull knows their schematics, so they probably aren't that useful.
Yeah.
Because there'll probably be some sort of shortcut to disable them.
Yeah.
And Gohan.
He's Gohan.
Gohan.
Yeah. Which is hilarious.
All right. So he's like, all right, I'll tell you what. Okay. Elder Kai, Guru, way back when in the Namek saga, unlocked Gohan's potential. No, Elder Kai unlocked Gohan's potential, right? Oh no, but Guru did as well. This is the first time around.
Yeah,
and Krillin's as well.
Yeah.
So he's like, okay, so if I fly up to Dente can do the same for me, right? And then Dente says, no, I am not that super old yet to be able to grant this ability.
Yeah, it comes at a certain age. Like, cool.
But he's like, I can upgrade the Dragon Balls to be able to give you the powers. And he's like, yeah. How do you think the Dragon Balls will be able to do 3 wishes? Because I upgraded them. I'm like, all right, I suppose. I mean, fine.
Okay, sure. Plot convenience, yay.
Yeah, exactly. So then he just basically pours some water over the Shenlong statue and does the ritual.
Yeah.
And then, and then Piccolo says, when I was Kami, I don't remember being able to do this stuff.
Yeah.
And then he says,
yeah,
exactly. But then they covers that up by saying, well, you left Namek so long ago, you probably forgot about, what you can and cannot do. Back in those days, okay, fine. I mean, you did split your knowledge in half. You split into 2 beings, so your knowledge probably split in half. I don't know. All right. But So Piccolo's like, all right, how do I now have to go and find the Dragon Balls, right? But I'm going to find it in time because the fight's just gonna. I mean, the Rebel Army is ready to rock.
Yeah.
And then they says, Bulma's already collected them. She's been collecting them every year to use for small stuff.
Yeah, she's got on staff that go out and collect the Dragon Balls every time they've been used.
Yeah, and then because like, what does she do with them? And he's like, and then he's like, well, she does small insignificant wishes.
Yeah,
but that's only to stop them. If anyone else gets them, then they're inert, right? And I'm like, that's actually a pretty good idea.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, because I think, it's like sometimes they just have one ball to stop all the others coming together, but that doesn't, eventually if people get everything. Yeah. And so he goes and meets Bulma. He goes down to Cap's Core, where Bulma has them all ready for him. And they call Shenlong. They say, okay, he says, can you unleash my full potential?
Yeah.
Later potential? however he does it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Shenlong goes, yeah, sure, I'll do that, and then nudge, wink, wink. You know what? Because you're Kami / Piccolo, you know, do that. I'll give you an extra.
Yeah,
wink.
and a bit more. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then they're like, all right, what are the next 2 wishes? Because we want to make them inert. And Bournemouth's like, all right. Bournemouth's like, give me a butt lift, a little bit of a butt lift, perk up my butt a little bit, and give me about 2 millimeters on my
eyelashes. I was like,
yeah.
Wow. That's so shallow.
And then he's like, all right, well, done. Laters, people.
Yeah.
And then Piccolo's like, why are you using this for such small things like this? What things? Like, I think last time she made herself like 5 years younger, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But to be fair, Frieza wanted Dragon Balls to make himself 5 centimeters taller, so you know.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. And then Piccolo's like, why would you do that? And then they're like, wait a minute, we could have asked Shenlong to bring Goku and Vegeta to Earth. Oh no. Yeah, we are fools.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, I gotta get back to Red Ribbon HQ to, you know, get the lowdown layers. Right. So he flies back to the base, and they don't even realize he's been like, as a guard standing there, he just comes back, and they don't realize he's like what?
Yeah. Oh, you've been off like 5 hours. Never mind.
Yeah. He said he went to the toilet for like 5 hours. All right.
Yeah, and one of them goes, if you got to go, you got to go. So he said the English one. I was like, oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're talking about Carmine and Magenta. Carmine and Magenta talking about their plan to kidnap Pan to lure out Son Gohan so they could fight him.
Yeah.
Because they already killed Piccolo, as far as they know, right?
Yeah.
So they're going to next in line. Yeah. And then Piccolo's like, I'll go and kidnap Pan. Because like it doesn't want to endanger her, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, what? What do you mean? Right? How do you know where she lives? And he's like, I live in the area, and her and Gohan's married to Mr. Saint's daughter, and she's Mr. Saint's granddaughter, so we kind of, they are well known in the area.
Yeah, he's like, oh, okay, that checks out. You're like,
yeah.
Well, all right, sure.
Yeah, I mean, it does kind of,
but it's a reach. I mean, it's a reach, but sure.
So he's paired up with another soldier for the mission, right? A big guy, right? Like you were talking about Piccolo being 8 foot tall. This guy's probably 9 foot tall, right?
Or be like 10 foot tall, because he's a bit bigger than Piccolo as well. So yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, all right, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to stage of kidnapping, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're gonna go to Gohan.
Oh, they kidnapped Pan first, right?
Oh yeah. No, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, Piccolo's talking about how, he could stop the plan right now if he wanted to, right? But he's like, no, I'm gonna teach Gohan a lesson. I'm gonna get him back to be able to fight at his peak, right? So, yeah. That's right. So they go. Yeah, he's like, well, I'm gonna do this. Yeah. They go to Pan's kindergarten, right? And Piccolo's meant to pick her up. He obviously can't pick her up in the Red Ribbon Army gear, right?
Yeah.
Because she like now, just left with the teacher and has. So the big burly guy goes over there and goes, I'm here to pick up Pan. Your dad sent me. And she's like, no. And this 3-year-old punches this big massive dude.
Yeah.
And he just basically winded and knocked out on the floor.
Yeah. And then Piccolo comes on and goes, oh, sorry about that. I want to say Jennifer, because I can't remember her name.
Yeah.
The teacher. Yeah. Just go ahead. I'll take Pan, don't worry about it. Yeah. And then, so after that, he picks...
Yeah, go on.
He picks up the guy's big body and then tells Pan the plan, like, hey, you got to pretend you're scared.
Yeah. She recognizes him. He's still in the kids' still have his helmet on. Yeah. And he obviously can't take his helmet off in front of the teacher because he's Namekian, right?
I think she knows, because when he picks her up, he must know that she's normal.
Oh, no, yeah, Pan recognizes him by his key.
Yeah, and I'm talking about the teacher, though. She must, because She goes, "Oh, Piccolo, glad that you come get Pan."
Oh yeah, okay.
So she must know.
All right. Well, in this world, there's walking anthropomorphic animals. So
yeah.
Okay.
What's the green man?
Exactly. It's probably when you see a dog walking standing up, and then you have to fight a lizard man or whatever. It's like, okay, it's not exactly the most wackiest thing you ever seen in your life.
Pretty less.
Yeah. So Piccolo takes her to the Red Ribbon Army plane and basically says to her, while he's trying to fly the thing, by the way, because he doesn't know how to fly. And he's like, Pan, put on these handcuffs and pretend you can't break out of them. It's a little game, we're gonna do for your dad, to get him to take his stuff seriously.
Yeah, she's like, okay, right. Sure.
Yeah. She's in because obviously that's how much she trusts Piccolo.
Yeah, he's her granddad. So,
Yeah. So they take her to the Red Ribbon Army base. And then all of a sudden she turns into a little coward. Oh no, Dad, please! Like they film her on the smartphone to send as a message to Gohan, and she's like crawling on the floor, grabbing a plushie. Oh please, Dad, help me! They got, I can't, so they go over to where Gohan is. Piccolo's still in his disguise, and they're like, right, so Gohan, and he's like, people just go away. I'm studying here. Can't you see I'm busy?
Yeah.
Like,
we take it serious.
Yeah. We got your daughter, and he's like, what? And here's the other thing that Piccolo points out is like, Pan can sense him from his key, right?
Yeah.
But Gohan can't.
Yeah.
So, well, I don't want to say that's how. Either he's really engrossed in his stuff.
Yeah.
Even then,
Yeah.
I guess you should recognize some. I don't know. Yeah. But
it's
maybe just to show how far he's kind of not taken. He's left his daughter in the nursery, whatever, and so whatever, But I guess it's just how he's a bit of a. Doesn't concentrate too well on certain things.
Yeah, his mind's elsewhere most of the time.
Yeah, exactly. So then when they say, "We've got your daughter," he jumps out, charges up Super Saiyan, creates a crater around the house, so he's going to topple. And then the big buddy guy, no, sir, please calm down. We have you, though. It's not gonna hurt. She's not gonna be hurt. Please, you need. Look. Don't hurt me.
Yeah.
Tell you where she is. Just come with us. Man. And so he arrived at the base. He arrived at the base. Pan goes towards him. They like, oh yeah, happy dad's here and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And then he's like, I bring you here to fight Gamma 1, right?
Yeah.
That's all you got to do is fight this guy. That's all you got to do, right? And then you can rescue your daughter or whatever, right? And it's like, why? And it's just because you're evil, right? Okay. Yeah, exactly. Just Gamma 1 and 2 at this point, I don't want to say necessarily are brainwashed, but they've been told a particular version of events.
Yeah.
So Gamma 1 fights Gohan.
Yeah.
Who then has to transform to Super Saiyan level 2 quickly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. He's fighting. I thought he was fighting. He's fighting a base Gohan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he's fighting a Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. And so these androids, Gamma 1 and Gamma 2, must be pretty strong, right? And then they're like, Piccolo's like, he needs to get the power of the potential unleashed form, the mystic or ultimate form, whatever you want to call it, right?
Yeah.
So he, in the tower, far away, he gets Pan. He nudges Pan and goes, Pan, right? Call to your dad for help. Pretends to hold her by the handcuffs, right? He's actually holding her by her feet as well.
Yeah.
But I don't want to say, that far away, you can't see it, right?
Yeah.
But as she plays along, oh, please, Dad, once again, right? And then Gohan just transformed to ultimate form at a point, and just starts destroying Gamma 1. And, well, first of all, I forgot to say, Gamma 1 turns around, and says, "We don't harm children."
Yeah.
But then, obviously, then he gets his ass whooped by Gohan.
Yeah.
And then Gamma 2's like, "All right, I'm gonna slip in here to help even up the fight because it's completely one-sided at this point, right?"
Yeah.
And Piccolo then drops his disguise and starts fighting Gamma 2. And then Gamma 2's like, "Didn't I just beat you before? But what makes you think you can handle me now?" And then Piccolo goes to, what do you want to call it? Smooth Piccolo?
Yeah, because he hasn't got the lines on his skin anymore, isn't it?
Yeah. I would like green Piccolo, lime Piccolo. I don't know what you're gonna call it. Potential unleashed Piccolo, but realistically,
Lime Piccolo, I guess.
I mean, like moisturized Piccolo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So and these fights are quite cool. But you would have thought that potential unleashed Piccolo would have a better, more even chance against Gamma 2, because Gamma 2 still seems to be a level above him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, he's closer than before. Like, okay, so if Piccolo was at Super Saiyan level 2 at the Tournament of Power, right?
Yeah.
What does potential unleash put him to? Because you'd think he'd put him to Super Saiyan level 3, right? Ish or something, maybe?
I don't know.
2.5?
2.5, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Gamma 2's like, well, I got more power too, and then makes Piccolo like is a normal form, if you know what I mean. Like, he fights him like he fights Piccolo like Piccolo hasn't really made a huge boost in power.
Yeah.
Beats him up, throws him down Piccolo's falling down a crevice. He's like, Shenlong's words about throwing in a bonus, right?
Yeah. And a bit more.
Yeah. Gets you like an Akuma-like symbol on his back.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Hulks up and flies out. Right.
Yeah.
Orange.
Yeah, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, like he's been pumping weights all his life because his chin muscles even grow. You know.
Yeah, he has no neck.
Yeah. I'm not so sure about this, like the buff version of the form myself, because usually, yes, it kind of signifies more mass and more power, but at the same time, it's like, then they say when Trunks bulked up, it restricted his movements.
Yeah.
But I think at this level, but I don't know. What do you think of the orange form itself?
I liked it.
Yeah.
I like that Piccolo's sort of, they stepped his game up and kind of put him back on a sort of believable level with the other guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't mind the color change.
No.
Him bulking up though was a bit like, okay.
Yeah, it was a bit weird, but
yeah.
It was alright. I liked it. I really liked it.
Yeah. I mean, it works. Yeah, it works kind of. Yeah. I would probably prefer a non-super bulk up, but you know, it's not like he's super Saiyan grade 3 bulked up, you know.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's just because his skin smoothed out, and then he bulked up, and then I was like, okay, well, all right. Yeah. Anyways, so he's just making a mockery of Gamma 2 now. Pan fakes free of her cuffs, and she's beating up the Red Ribbon Army soldiers because,
you
know, as a 3-year-old.
Yeah, 3-year-old.
What were you doing at 3 years old? That's what I'd say, right?
Yeah.
Jeez. Magenta and Carmine are seeing the Gammas losing. They run off to activate. So they run off, and Carmine starts trying to shoot a gun at Pan.
Yeah.
Who's dodging all the shots because of that training with Piccolo is just super paid off, you know what I mean? She come out at super speed. And the Gamma's like, wait a minute. Why is he shooting that little kid?
Yeah. That's not cool.
Yeah. Stop, everybody stop. Big X. This thing we're calling a stop to right at the moment because we know exactly, we've worked out who are the actual bad guys. So Pan knocks out Carmine and Magenta runs off.
Yeah.
and Dr. Hedo follows him. Yeah, so the Gamma's like, all right, Bulma's arriving with Trunks, Goten, and Krillin and 18 as backup, right? A bit late, but you know how it is, right?
Yeah.
And but the fight's kind of over, and then Piccolo's like, "Oh, Goten and Trunks, you enlarged."
Yeah. I haven't seen you all. You got so big. He's like, oh.
Yeah.
And that's when they say, oh, you know, Saiyans are small until a certain age and they have a mad growth spurt. I'm like, yeah, that's true. Happened to Goku, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, nudge, because they like to sell more merch when they're kids, you know.
Yeah.
When the Kid Goku or Kid Gohan Goten looking like Kid Goku, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then Gohan's looking for his glasses, and Piccolo's like, "Do your eyesight get better when you transform?
Yeah.
Is that why?" Also, you know, like here they're just kind of covering plot points. And
Yeah.
stuff that I'm like, all right.
That's why I kind of like this one. They broke the fourth wall a lot in it.
Yeah. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
So in the base, Magenta's like, all right, we're going to have to awaken Cell Max. And Dr. Hedo says, no, we don't do that because it's not ready, first of all. And secondly, you are a villain, right?
Yeah.
Magenta's like, well, Dr. Hedo, I am actually a villain, so I'm going to shoot you.
Yeah, so bang.
Yeah, and then he tries to unleash
Bang, bang.
more. He tries to unleash Cell's restraints.
Yes.
And Dr. Hedo is like, let me sit up like the Undertaker and say, look,
Yeah.
remember like my skin, super tough, your bullets can't hurt me. And then Magenta's like, well, let me show you something, brother.
I've made modifications too.
Yeah, rips off his skin, right?
Yeah.
And then starts posing like Hogan, right? And he's gonna fight, but then it's like Dr. Hedo's like, nah, I just sting you with my bee. That from like an hour ago, previous in the movie.
Yeah, remember?
Yeah. So the poison is gonna get you, and you're gonna die. And while he's gloating, as you do, you turn your back on your nemesis and you start laughing at him, right?
Yeah.
Magenta is having his muscle spasms and whatnot, but he's just like flopping around all over the place, and he just finally pulls the triggers on Cell Max because on the way to death, when you got nothing else to lose, why not? Right?
Not? Yeah.
So Cell Max breaks from his chamber. So Gohan's like, well, while this is all happening, Gohan's like, Piccolo, what's up with this new form you got? And he goes, oh yeah, I'll Shenlong for that thing. And then Gohan's like, what's it called? Like, you know, we got Super Saiyan. He's like, Orange Piccolo.
Yeah, because in the English one, he goes, yeah, you should name something cool, like, you know, we got Super Saiyan. And he goes, well, just, I guess, Orange Piccolo. Oh,
yeah.
That's hilarious. He knows these names are stupid too.
Yeah. And then the sky turns dark and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Cell Max comes along and basically kind of red. Like all the bits that were dark green on Cell are red now. He has no brain, of course.
Yeah, he's just basically like a Godzilla monster.
Yeah. And a massive one at that as well, right? And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, look, I would probably preferred if it was, I would have preferred if he did kind of like have Cell mannerisms first, and then they start fighting to the point where they hit him in the head enough. Yeah. Then he turns into a brute monster or something like that, you know? Because then it gives something like, oh, Cell, I remember me, Gohan. You know, I murdered everyone you knew. No, he didn't. He didn't quite do that, but remember when I made a mockery of your entire family, you know, and your friends.
I'm kind of glad they didn't do that, because then it kind of does Cell himself a disjustice, because he kind of died in an epic sort of way.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, well, so bringing him back, that was like, oh, he's a cliche.
Yeah, but then they kind of, I think they did, okay, like you say, it's Godzilla monster with, like, they had to brute fight, and it's like, okay, but nothing to him. If you know what I mean, he's just like, he's like Doomsday. He's there to do his plot purpose in the story, and that's it.
Yeah.
And he's too big as well at that point as well. They can't really, they don't really fight him more than try to blast him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he's too big. Yeah. So the boys, Goten and Trunks try to fusion, and they mess it up and turn into Fat Goten.
Oh, yeah.
And then, but they actually they're like, well, we're not gonna unfuse, right? We're gonna try and be useful, and it actually was useful.
Yeah, in the end, yeah.
And Piccolo points out, going, "What? A messed up fusion actually hurting something, you know?"
Yeah.
I think he's like E Honda's sumo headbutt, right?
Yeah, because they play volleyball with him, don't they? Basically.
Yeah. So the Gammas are like, there's a weak point at Doctor on Cell's head, so we all just got to try and hit that. And not as easy as it seems, even though he's big and massive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're all fighting. Gamma 2's like, all right, well, you people will distract him, right? I'm gonna go and make the sacrifice play, right? Well, I've got a plan, right? You just gotta make him stand still, and I'll try and finish him.
Yeah, but this is also introduced that once his weak spot is broken, you need to get out of there because he explodes. Yeah.
So he charges up. He goes through the sky and he basically does a supercharge downwards at Cell.
Yeah.
And Cell, I think he moved slightly.
You blocked it with his arm.
Yeah. Yeah, because he was going for his head.
Yeah.
So he blocks it with his arm, and then Gamma just basically destroys his arm, but destroys himself. Well, inerts himself in the process, right?
Yeah.
And then he tries to stomp all over the place. And Piccolo's trying to say, Gohan, charge up your Kamehameha or whatever you want. Like, charge up your move.
Yeah.
And we'll hold him in place, and you can get him, right?
Yeah.
So they're trying to distract Cell Max, and Gohan's sitting there doing nothing but charging, because as you do.
Yeah, Dragon Ball, as you do.
To conveniently remove him from the fight.
Yeah.
Try to stomp on Piccolo. Piccolo's like, I'm gonna hold this foot up, right? Stomping against me, right?
Yeah.
And Krillin flies down and goes, Piccolo, why don't you grow? Why don't you grow massive like you did way back in the Budokai tournament?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh yeah,
I can do that.
yeah. I'll do that. I do it right now, in fact, right?
Yeah.
And then he basically fights giant Piccolo, fighting giant orange Piccolo fighting massive Cell.
Yeah.
With the fleas of normal humans flying around Cell, right?
Yeah.
And then Piccolo's like, I'm not sure how much I can hold off for because this big form does not actually.
And he had no power boost or anything like that.
Yeah. It's just more like a equalization of his height versus my height.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it doesn't multiply my power levels to anything like that. He's saying kind of it's a bluff. But it's mindless. He's fighting someone mindless. I don't know how you can bluff that. Yeah. Anyways, he tried to give Gohan a sensu bean.
Yeah.
And Gohan, he tried to offer Gohan a sensu bean before, and Gohan loses it because
that's when the glasses thing.
Yeah. So then he's got his second sensu bean, right? And he says, Gohan, have this, right? I will fight one arm Cell until with the others until you can charge to your full power. So then Cell Max destroys Piccolo.
Yeah. Basically kills him.
About
to kill him,
yeah. And then Gohan's like, no, and he turns into from short head Gohan, right?
Yeah.
I know it made sense when he was Super Saiyan 2 when he had long hair, right? But he somehow he has short head Gohan into Super Saiyan 2 length hair.
It's longer than Super Saiyan 2 length hair.
Yeah. It's like, so your hair just, like in Super Saiyan 3, your head just grows out of nowhere and spikes up. It looked a bit weird because it looked like your head's completely unbalanced, but whatever, right?
Yeah, it's Dragon Ball. None of it makes sense. Yeah.
So then Gohan's laying some beatdowns, right?
Yeah, man.
As you do. All right. And then Cell's like, well, I'm gonna destroy the Earth. Well, no, he's not gonna think. He's not thinking anything. He's just thinking of destroying the Earth at this point, right? Yeah. Piccolo's like, all right, I'm gonna wrap him up with my elongated arms, while you Gohan charge your special attack, and then we'll run through Cell's head, and he will die. Yeah. Is that the plan? Yes. We'll try and execute it.
Yeah.
And so they execute the plan, of course.
Yeah.
And Gohan he does a
special beam cannon.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
I was like, all right, yeah. Not Kamehameha, but it's like, okay, cool, nice.
Like, oh, you're doing your real father's move.
Yeah. I was like,
awesome.
cool for him to learn a different technique though, because it helps him be a bit more different, rather than
the other Saiyans.
Yeah, exactly. And then everyone has to fly off before Cell destroys it, like blows up the entire that section of the world. I don't know, because in Dragon Ball, all these major blasts destroy the world, and the world will somehow recover itself as an actual living entity. And or the mountains just restore themselves after whatever, right?
Yeah, after like 2 weeks or whatever.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. So then Pan's running off, right, and the mountain, all the cliffs are falling behind her. And then Krillin said, "Jump!" So Krillin flying around.
Yeah.
Pan, you can fly. Come on! And then she jumps, and she then the dust kind of goes in front of her, and she flies out of it. She did learn to fly.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So she flies over to Gohan. Everyone reverts back to normal, and they're like, "Oh, Gohan, Dad, you're so good." And Piccolo's like, "Well done, Gohan, well done." And yeah, Gohan. I don't know if Goku and Vegeta had been around, could they have defeated Cell Max? I'm like, I think they.
Nah.
Well, no, yeah, you don't think so?
Nah.
Even with Ultra Instinct and Super Saiyan Royal Blue, aka Super Saiyan Evolution.
Yeah, I still think that because they've always kind of prophesied that Gohan's like the strongest one out of them.
Yeah, but that means Gohan Beast, as he's called. I don't know about the name myself.
Yeah, same here.
That means that power level is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Gamma 1 and Dr. Hedo are like, you know what? Praise be Gamma 2. He was the man, but not anymore, right?
Yeah.
He went out the way of a superhero.
He went out the way he lived. Yeah.
Yeah. And Dr. Hedo Form was like, look. You guys weren't evil, right? You just got manipulated. But come work with me, and we can set things right.
Yeah.
And Dr. Doe's like, well, I probably can't be not allowed to work in biomechanics. And she goes, don't worry. The skin serum thingy-jig you got that made your skin tough? You can use it in cosmetics, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Like,
all right, okay. Why not?
Silly boomer.
Yeah, and then we kind of like, Pan flies around, we cut the credits.
Yeah.
And I thought they were going to do Chala, Head Chala, but,
Yeah, that's Goku's thing, though, and that's why I was like, okay, I'll let him off then.
Oh, yeah. I mean, maybe there's a Gohan theme song, but
they could have done.
But
we got power.
Yeah, exactly. But then they do like stills of things that happened, like the after credits, but not the actual after credits.
Yeah.
Like Videl finding that the house is lopsided because of the crater. Yeah. And then the after credits, where Goku and Vegeta have been fighting since
forever. At this point. Yeah.
And then Vegeta's just throwing a super slow-mo punch because he can barely energy, and Goku's trying to throw a punch as well.
Yeah.
And basically, Vegeta's punch touches Goku first, and they both flop over.
Yeah.
And Goku's like, "Oh no, you got me. And I know they kind of semi-sarcastic, but it's not really.
Yeah.
And Vegeta's like, yes, I finally defeated you. But you got to think, Vegeta really... Goku has never actually defeated Vegeta.
No.
He's just defeated people that have defeated Vegeta.
Yeah, he hasn't defeated Vegeta properly.
And then all the men are crying manly tears of...
Yeah, because Chile's like, well, that's over. That was kind of boring. And then you see Broly and Lemon? Yeah. Just crying like it's the most epic thing they've ever seen in their life. Oh, it was the best.
Yeah. So yeah. Overall, I enjoyed the film. I think they could have done a bit more of Cell or something like that. But then, did you mind that Cell was the main nemesis in this?
No, it kind of caught me by surprise that he was. I wouldn't even say Well, I wouldn't even know who I'll say is the main nemesis in this film because he's kind of like the monster.
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
end.
yeah. That's the thing. And Hedo wasn't really. I mean, yeah. I don't mind Cell. It made more sense. It did kind of make sense because he was the one that was tormenting Goku. Sorry, Gohan way back in the day.
Yeah.
But this Cell wasn't that Cell,
No.
and this Cell didn't really have personality.
No. He was just the shell,
Yeah.
basically, which I didn't
Yeah.
mind at
Yeah.
all.
It's got a bit of bio Broly
Yeah.
ish.
Yes. That's the best way of putting it.
Yeah. I mean, I would have liked them to have to fight with someone similar size to them, and then maybe he can like balloon up when he starts going more nuts. But then, like I said, that's even more similar to Dragon Ball Super Broly. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was kind of right with it.
Yeah.
And it kind of made sense for Gohan to go to the next form against something like Cell, which brought him to his peak anyway. So yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
That's
every time Piccolo dies for this boy, man.
Yeah, and I like how they kind of paid homage to when he went Super Saiyan 2 because they did that whole black screen and the red slash
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the background.
But when's this man gonna learn? When's this man gonna learn? Is just be prepared. Jeez.
No, when he's not prepared, he does even better. So you know.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I suppose.
He's naturally talented, I guess.
Mhm.
That's his thing because he's half human, half Saiyan. You know. Mm.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, like it's enjoyable. If you know what you're going in for, right? Don't expect some deep story. Expect a little bit of a comedy.
Yeah.
And lots of fighting. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And I've kind of like that. I hope they go the way with this. Like each Saiyan has their own transformations rather than all having the same sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it gives them a bit more something else, like to differentiate them more.
Yeah. Hey, we're all Super Saiyan Blue. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I think Gohan and Goten and Trunks are probably going to be stuck with the fusion technique because
I think
that's their gimmick, right?
I think that's been a gimmick, but they're gonna have when they do something else, they're gonna have a different Super Saiyan form from the others as well.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Yeah. Well, look, you obviously will say. I mean, like I'm suggesting, people should watch this, right?
Yeah, sure.
As casual people, you probably enjoy it for certain things, right?
Yeah.
I think you get more out of it if you're a fan.
Yeah.
Because there's like callbacks and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Dude, bro, what's this random Android thing with Jig Jabroni, you know?
Yeah.
But it's fun. It's fun.
It's fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There was something else about it. I can't remember now. Yeah, even for like, because it was me, my brother, and his wife when we went and saw it, and she didn't really watch Dragon Ball, but
yeah, she
kind of up to speed with everything through it. So it was like, okay, it's not that hard to just jump in and. Except when you've got to try and explain transformations to people, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they do. I think they kind of did a decent job explaining stuff, except for I suppose you get the potential unleashed Piccolo form, right?
Yeah.
But you kind of got to say, oh, the Saiyans can also do that, and then you kind of fill in people on certain bits of information.
Yeah.
I think they do well enough, but it's like I don't know because we've been watching it for the past decades, right?
Years or whatever. Yeah.
That we kind of automate. This information's already there.
Yeah.
So maybe if I watch it again, maybe I will watch the dub version as well. I went to watch the dub version, by the way, but you know, if you get tickets to the wrong one, you get to whatever, right?
Yeah, because that's what happened with Broly. They advertised it being a dubbed one, but then we got there, and I was like, maybe they're speaking Vegetanese or whatever it was, the language people on Planet Vegeta speak. And I was like, nope, this is Japanese. Awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I say if you can see the dub, it's good.
I'll check it out. I mean, like I said, I just basically Sabak's voice was basically Piccolo, anyways.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that. Okay. Yeah. So double thumbs up. Yeah. For you.
Yes, sir.
I'd say thumbs up and a half for me.
Yeah, that's understandable.
I mean, yeah.
It's understandable.
Yeah.
Just like to see where it goes next.
Yeah, exactly. It set the table for more things.
Yeah.
And we'll see exactly how this super long-haired, white-haired version of Gohan compares to everyone else.
With red eyes, awesome.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah, but the red eye Terminator look, yeah. I will say this though. I mean, I think the fan name of this was they had Gohan Blanco before.
Okay.
But I mean, which is Gohan White, of course, right? But,
Yeah.
I don't know, Gohan Beast, but he wasn't acting like a beast, was
No,
he?
that's why I didn't get it either. I was like, well.
Yeah.
Because I've seen it like being referred to as fun or Gohan and stuff like that. Well, that kind of makes more sense. But then
but he might get another transformation.
Yeah, so it's like makes no sense. All right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Penultimate Gohan or whatever, right?
That does sound good.
Or you know what? He could have just combined the two and called him Ultimate Mystic Gohan. Instead of just Ultimate All Mystic. Then you can combine them both, right?
Yeah.
Or Ultimate Potential Unleashed or whatever. You know.
Gohan Great.
Mythic Gohan, right? They should have just went Mythic Gohan, right?
Yeah. Made more sense.
Yeah, I think the Beast name is a bit weird.
Yeah.
Unless he goes into a Brody transformation, you know, which would have made more sense if it was called Beast. You know?
Unless, and this is just a wild speculation.
Yeah.
Maybe his next transformation, and he kind of retconned this as well, is Super Saiyan 4.
Oh well, yeah, or legit he turns into a what's the ape form again?
Ozaru.
Yeah. Then he's an actual beast.
Yeah.
But no, actually, no, you're right. If he evolves that form into like the white version of Super Saiyan 4, it makes more sense why you call him Beast, because then at that point he does look like a
beast.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see how that works.
Because then you kind of keep Super Saiyan 4, or the look of Super Saiyan 4, but get rid of Super Saiyan 4 at the same time, because which you've kind of technically done.
Yeah.
Which people were in. A lot of people are against and for, so middle ground, I guess. You know, well. Super Saiyan 4, miss it.
All right. So we'll sign off. So I'm I'm the 3-year-old with super speed, Suai-chan.
And I am the guy who does PowerPoint presentations, just to tell you simple little things, Carl Charles. And I'd like to thank you all for listening to us review Dragon Ball Superheroes. See it while you can, because I think it's in cinemas limitedly. It's not be out for that long, so see if you can. Also, let us know if you have seen it, what you thought of it. Did you like it? Are you a fan of Gohan's new look? Did you like Piccolo Orange? Or whatever they want to call him. I'll call him Piccolo Orange because it makes sense. Let us know. You can do that by hitting us up on Instagram or on Twitter. Send us an email. Leave a comment in the comment section if you're watching us on YouTube. And just get on with that. Watch more Dragon Ball if you can. Or read the mangas, which I have no idea what's going on in that anymore.
Well, they've got different, like Galactic Prison Arc and some other stuff, which they'll probably adapt at some point. When Dragon Ball Super comes back.
Apparently it's coming back at some point. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
So let us know and all that lovely stuff I just mentioned. And until next time, guys, thank you for taking a trip with us around the multiverse.
Bye.
You won't last long in the tournament. And if you lose, our universe won't be far behind. I'm gonna show you your weakness. I was taking the gloves off. What's the matter, Gohan? Is that all you've got? Don't blame me when you black out. I'm not giving up yet. Piccolo, when did you get so powerful? Did you really think I was sitting on my hands all this time while you had your head buried in some textbook? Gohan, it's over. You're strong, but you lack, well, you just might not have the heart of a true warrior. If there's a chance to win, you have to close the deal. It's an old problem. Remember when you fought Majin Buu, after the Elder Kai drew out your power? You were overcome by a different feeling. Arrogance. You had struggled for so long to unlock your potential that when you did, you enjoyed it too much. Instead of using your strength to win, your arrogance left you open to attack. Succumb to that again, and you'll lose no matter how powerful you are. Be a warrior! No matter the opponent, you fight with everything you've got!
All right, Piccolo, this time I won't let you down.
I want to see something even more powerful than just Super Saiyan. Show me the power you had when you fought against Buu! Reawaken the fighter you truly are!
So is this what you wanted to see?
That's perfect, Gohan.
Cloning, huh?
Piccolo! Yes, that's it. That's good. If you can fight like this in the tournament, then those other universes don't stand a chance against our team.
Oh, thank you, Piccolo.